Hello everyone and welcome back to This is Real Life. I'm your host Sheri and today is Friday. You know what that means. We don't know what's going on, but don't worry. I know a little bit about what's going on today. We are outside in Jen's backyard and I am going to dye some chair covers. Why, you ask? I started a project and then decided to abort it. You will see that project in an upcoming DIY Wednesday video. Long story short, Jen had an old outdoor patio couch that I was going to redo. It was rattan, that like plasticky outdoor rattan. It was beat to shit, so I thought, let's remove all the rattan and then refix it ourselves. And then, sometimes you just gotta know when to say when. Whoever made this, they didn't just spiral like one continuous loop of rattan. They only did a loop like this big, so it wrapped around twice, and they put a staple every single inch. And mind you, I've only done one arm so far. Taking off the rattan was a pain in the ass. Purchasing the new supplies, new chair pads, all of that ended up being like a couple $100, plus the time it would take to do all of that. And time is money. So when we weighed the options, we decided, hell no, let's just buy a new one. So Jen and I went to the Big Lots and we found the cutest and most cost-effective patio couch. Like, we searched and searched high and low for patio furniture. And I don't know if you've looked at patio furniture lately, but it's expensive. And the Big Lots had this 3-seater couch made out of iron, aluminum, a black metal frame. And it had this color chair pad. But Jen doesn't want this color chair pad. She wants navy. But every time we went to look for a couch that had navy cushions, it was like double, triple the price of this couch. So I said, hello, let's use our brains. Let's get this super inexpensive outdoor patio couch and dye the cushions. So that is what we are doing today on this Real Life Friday video. I am boiling tons and tons and tons of water because each one of these containers takes 6 gallons of boiling water. I have 3 tubs set up behind me. I'm just gonna dump 6 gallons into each tub, pour my dye in, and then put 2, a seat and a back, into each tub, and hopefully they turn navy blue. This is no DIY, but let me just tell you, outdoor patio cushions, they're fucking expensive too, man. That outdoor game, it's a racket, I'm telling you. So the seat cushions did unzip, and you can see all the foam behind me. However, the back cushions did not unzip. So rather than submerging the entire back pillow, I just simply seam ripped the bottom of it, and I'm gonna dye it, and then I'm gonna shove all the foam and shit back in here, and then I'm gonna sew it right up like it never happened. So don't think you can't dye something if it doesn't have a zipper. Just rip that seam out. I did prepare all of these. The dye container does say wash everything. They just came out of the washing machine, and now I'm literally just waiting. I have 2 giant pots of water on the stove waiting for them to boil. I just took the 2 pots of boiling water off the stove and I dumped them into this tub right here. I'm just using regular old plastic tubs, and I'm hoping that the boiling water doesn't like melt them. These right here, can you see them? See the steam coming off of that? So that's only 1 bucket so far. So I'm gonna be heating up water 4 days on the stove. If you've never dyed anything before, this is the dye for synthetic fabric. And we're also supposed to put a teaspoon of liquid dish detergent and stir it up really well. I think it also said something about salt, which is weird to me. I'm taking these directions and I'm just kind of like making them my own because the directions on this is not convenient for me. I'm sorry. It says for synthetic fabrics, you need to keep the water temperature between 180 and 200 degrees. Like if you were doing a shirt, you would just do it on a pot over the stove. That's not convenient. I have 6 chair pad covers to do. So I have 3 tubs out here and I'm gonna do 2, 2, and 2. The water's not gonna stay at 200 degrees considering I just dumped that boiling water in that one and I have to wait for more boiling water to finish filling that up. So yeah, dye. I'm not following your directions to the T. It's just not gonna happen. So while I'm waiting for this second batch of hot water to boil, I am going to make use of my time. So do you remember this llama fabric that Jen got? Well, we had a little bit extra, and since she loves it so much, I'm going to take her old outdoor pillows and I am going to recover this pillow in this fabric for her. But I don't want this edge, so I'm gonna cut it off. So yeah, it's about getting shit done, multitasking. You know what else it's about? I'll tell you. As you well know by the title of this Real Life Friday video, I did the math. I just turned 49 fucking years old. Yep, I know. You're like, how can that be possible? She looks like 23. I know, but it's true. And, you know, got me thinking. I think, you know how they always say like 30's the new 20, 40's the new 30, whatever. A, I don't feel 49. But B, my head does feel 49. Or my brain, I guess you could say. Because I'm deciding that as I get older, I just don't have time for the bullshit. I really don't. And looking back in my life, I put up with a lot of people's shit. I decided, ain't nobody got time for that. I don't know. Do you feel the same? I just don't have time for it anymore. The way I kind of look at it is like on a friend level. While we all need friends, it's nice. Remember when you were young and you had like 80 million friends? Every one of those friends was so important and they were so great and they were fabulous. And as you get older, you're like, yeah, you're not that great. You're not that great either. I just kind of decided as I've gotten older, like if I have like 3 or 4 quality friends, I'm cool, man. Friend maintenance is hard. That's one thing. I just, as I get older, I feel like I'm putting up with less and less. Tell me if that's the case for you, because it definitely is the case for me. And I feel like I'm gonna be one of those crotchety old ladies on my front porch that's yelling, "You kids, get off my lawn."
But I didn't mean like old man, like, get off my lawn. I meant more like, this is my property, get off my lawn.
Because the older I get, the more I just don't put up with shit from anywhere at all. I just don't. Turning 49, while, you know, not that monumental. I have 1 more year to go until I'm 50. And then I'm gonna be like, you know, on Saturday Night Live, I'm 50. I can kick and stretch and kick. So yeah, be prepared for that when I turn 50. All that, all the time. I firmly believe you are as young as you feel. And I know it sounds cliche, age is just a number. And I really do think that's true. Do you remember like when you were younger and you were like, oh damn, they're 49 or 50? That's so fucking old. Like, I hope I never get that old. But in reality, I don't feel 49 or 50. I'm just staying busy and I feel like I'm 30, to be quite honest. Maybe even younger. I'm not gonna say the bones aren't a creaking when I sit down for too long or when I go to pull and then wake up the next morning and I'm like, oh my God, my back is so killing me. In that respect, I feel 49. But really, for the most part, I feel super great. I'm just, you know, getting shit done, moving right along, not even worried about it. Which I thought by this point in my life, I would kind of be worried about getting so old. I remember turning 30. Oh my God, turning 30 was like a disaster for me. I remember it very, very vividly. I mean, I got myself really worked up, like, holy shit, I'm 30. My young years, it's all downhill from here. And then looking back, 30 was pretty awesome. My 30s were awesome. My 40s, really awesome. I feel like as we get older, it just keeps getting more and more awesome. And I think it's because as you get older, you also don't sweat the small stuff. Nothing is that big of a deal. And that's what I feel like. There is nothing that is that big of a deal anymore. I could give 2 shits and I'm not gonna make a big deal over anything. And I don't, really, to be quite honest. I gotta go check that water. So I think this tub is filled with a good enough amount of water. It is 4 pots full of boiling water. I have some detergent. We're supposed to use a teaspoon. I'm just gonna guess. That looks good. And some salt. Gonna guess on that too. And then we're supposed to stir this up. So I have a handle. This is like for a Webster or something. So we're supposed to mix this up and then we put in our dye and then we put in our 2 chair pads. And we're supposed to stir constantly for 30 minutes to an hour. I don't think that's gonna happen. We shake this up really well and then we dump it in and stir it all together. Oh man, it is blue. Oh, it just dripped on my hand. Look at our water. Hold on, I'll show you. Hopefully that turns these cushions navy blue. Okay, so we have 1 back and 1 with a zipper. Go in the pot. And now we just submerge and stir. I mean, within just a split second, it has kind of a periwinkle look to it, which is not really what we're going for. Hopefully when it's in here longer, it will turn more of a navy. It's kind of purpley right now. But the bottle definitely says navy blue, so I guess we just give it time, right? So while I stir this like a cauldron, I did mark on the tub what time I put these in here so that I know. And then I also know that I keep these ones soaking for just as long as this one. So hopefully everything turns out the same color. But anyways, point of my I'm 49 story is, yeah, I just don't care as much anymore, and I don't care what people think of me not caring. That's that. Tell me if you're on my same page or not, what your thoughts are. Another thing too, I don't have time for paying for shit that I don't need to pay for. We want a lot of things. Sometimes those things, they are expensive. And ain't nobody got all the money in the world. I know I don't. I was talking to Jen the other night. Maybe this will resonate with some of you guys. Maybe you're feeling the same way that Jen is kind of feeling. While I'm staying with Jen, I'm doing a lot of DIYs that, you know, she'd like to redo her dining room, or I'm trying to get her to love her outdoor space, and so I'm kind of like forcing it on her, hence why I'm dyeing these, because I told her she should get a new couch, and she did, because I really love being outside, and I find that she wasn't coming outside because she didn't like her outdoor space. So I'm giving her a little update and a little refresh as a thank you for letting me live with you. So I've been doing a couple of things, like I made a fountain over there out of just like an old pot that she had sitting on her front porch that didn't have any plant in it, and some rocks that I stole from the neighbor's yard, and a pump. Someone's doing yard work. I mean, Jen's neighborhood's just like my neighborhood. It's a beautiful day outside and people are outside doing shit. We got some kids singing in the backyard over here. We got someone doing yard work over here. It's real life Friday, dude. This is what happens. But look at this. Getting a little bit more navy. So is this stick. It's getting pretty navy too. As I was saying, I've been trying to help Jen get her space more like updated and how she really wants it. She spent a good amount of money on this couch. It was a lot. She wants to do like a bistro table over here. Now that I've rearranged her furniture, we've got some like conversation areas and whatnot. I'm like not about spending a ton of money, hence why we're dyeing these. And the thing of it is, Jen isn't much of a DIYer. She did cover the chair pads in the last video and she loved it. And now she's realizing that she can do things if she just sets her mind to it. But even that fountain that I made for her, I mean, it was not hard. She was like, I just could never imagine knowing even where to begin, how to do it. Basically, I'm gonna give you all the same lecture I gave Jen. We're all smart people. I'm no smarter than any one of you. I promise you that. The reason why I am, I guess, so good at DIYs, it really just comes down to necessity. I don't want to pay for shit, so I need to figure out how to do it myself. Once you reach that level, you want things, but everything's too expensive. Or you want things, but you already spent money on one big thing, so all the little accessories. You gotta make yourself, man. Take that fountain, for example. Look, here's that fountain. If you really wanted a fountain and then you went and priced fountains and you were like, oh, hell to the no, I'm not paying that much money for a fountain. I bet I could make a fountain. If you've never made anything before in your life, you'd use the Google. That's the advantage of this day and age. Google, the YouTubes. People are doing everything on the YouTubes and Google. You would figure out that the only thing that makes a fountain is the damn pump. So you could turn anything into a fountain. You just go to the hardware store, you buy that little pump, and I'll tell you what, that little pump shoots water up to 2 feet. We don't need that for a fountain. It cost $16. I recycled a pot Jen already had, and that pot actually had a drainage hole in the bottom of it. So guess what? I got silly putty and hot glue, and I filled that drainage hole up. So now that pot doesn't leak. And I stacked the rocks inside. I put the pump in on top of some rocks, filled it with water, put more rocks on top of that pump, and now it's a fucking fountain. And it was easy. Listen to the tranquil sounds of the fountain. It's literally just an old black pot, some rocks from the neighbor's yard, and a pump. Okay, so we are at the 30-minute mark for our first set. I have 2 pots of boiling water in the next tub, waiting for the other 2 pots to boil so I could pour it in there and then start my next 2. I mean, hold on, I don't want it to splash on me. Oh, Oh, hold on, it's heavy. Can you see it? It's not navy, but it's getting there. And what I've been doing instead of like constantly stirring is I'll stir and then I'll try to smash all the fabric down into the water and just let it sit there for like 10 minutes or whatever. Because I have these bins in the sun so that the sun keeps the water from getting too cold too fast. This in the sun, me in the sun stirring, the steam coming off of this, the underneath of my boobs are sweating is all I'm saying. So that's my technique, Rit dye. I know it's not as per your instructions, but it's as per my instructions. So that's what we're doing. We're saving $100 by dyeing these ourselves. So it's gonna take long. Just enjoy the day. It'll be fine. Okay, so the first tub has officially been soaking for 2 hours, while bluer, those chair covers are nowhere near navy. The second tub started about 30 minutes after the first tub, and the third tub started 30 minutes after the second tub, so a complete hour after the first tub. So what I'm thinking is I'm going to have to figure out a way to keep all of the fabric submerged so that I just let them soak overnight. If I want them navy, I feel like that's what I'm gonna have to do. And then, you wanna know what I was thinking while I was stirring the witch's brew? Each tub has approximately 6 gallons of water. There are 3 tubs. That is 18 gallons of dark blue water. I mean, you saw it in the picture. I mean, it's on my skin right here. It almost looks black. Rit dye, how would you like me to dispose of 18 gallons of super dark blue, almost black water?
Anyone
Anyone at all. I'm thinking my only option is tomorrow morning, drag those tubs, because 6 gallons is heavy. Like I even asked Davis and he was like, just pour it down her sink in the laundry room. I'm like, how would you like me to get a giant tub that is holding 6 gallons of water up into the laundry room and then up and into the sink? I don't think that's gonna happen. So I literally think I'm gonna have to drag them over to Jen's side yard over here and dump blue water, 18 gallons worth, in her dirt. If you want navy blue cushions, that's the price you have to pay. So anyways, I was tired of sitting in the sun. I was tired of stirring the witch's brew, and I'm just letting them soak and do their thing. I gotta move on with my day, man. Ain't nobody got time to sit around and stir and poke and whatever. I'm not waiting anymore. I'm just gonna let them go overnight. And then in the morning, fingers crossed, they look navy enough. So that brings us back to I'm 49, what the hell is going on and all that shit. So like I said, I was lecturing you guys because I had lectured Jen regarding being intimidated, I guess, by taking on specific tasks because you've never done them before. Like I said, as I get older, I also feel like there's nothing I can't do. Let's be real. There's nothing you can't do either. And it may be daunting at first. Like you're wondering, Sheri, what the hell's happening right here? Oh, this is pallet wood for another DIY that I'm gonna be doing for Jen. She wants like a privacy screen between her house and her neighbor's house. How can we achieve that? First thing that came to mind was free pallet wood. You know why? Because I don't want to spend money on actual real wood. Has anybody been to the Lowe's? Has anybody seen the prices of wood lately? Gas prices and wood are through the roof. So I went behind my local grocery outlet and some other local stores and picked up 3 pallets, and I am going to make that screen out of pallet wood. Have I ever made a privacy screen before? No. But what have I got to lose? We're all very smart and we can all do anything. And if you guys look at any of my videos and go, gosh, I could never do that. You know, she's so amazing. You're right. I am amazing, but I only became amazing because I don't want to pay for it. So I'm going to figure out how to make it myself. What's the worst that could happen? It doesn't turn out. You're out 20 or 40 bucks. Let me tell you, I actually had to buy actual wood from the Lowe's for like the side pieces because I sketched out what I wanted to do. Will it work? I don't know. But I spent like $8 on real wood. The rest of the wood is free. If I mess up, it's free wood. I can just go get another pallet. So what I'm saying in this long, drawn out story Oh my gosh, that brings me to something super funny. Back on the RIT dye. The reason I am doing the RIT dye out in the giant tubs, A, is because it's a lot of fabric, but B, one time for Halloween, I wanted to be Scooby-Doo, Velma. Oh my God, my Velma outfit was on point. This is another thing. It's like, how can I be Velma? I don't want to go buy a costume. Number one, Halloween costumes, completely expensive. Number two, completely cheap for how expensive they are. Like, they're gonna fall apart. Number three, I'm all about the details with my Halloween costumes. Halloween store costumes that come in the little bags, they're missing 90% of the details. When I do my Halloween costumes, I make them. And for Velma, I went to a thrift store and I found the most perfect skirt ever. Wrong color though. I went to the Walmart and I bought a turtleneck sweater, wrong color. So then I went to Joann's and I got some RIT dye. I did the boiling method over my stove. And let me tell you, that was the biggest fucking mistake ever. Here's what RIT dye doesn't tell you. The steam that comes off of the pot while you are dyeing your clothes is a color. The hole underneath of my white exhaust fan thing was hot pink because I was dyeing the skirt burgundy. Not only that, but remember how my kitchen cabinets are white? Completely fucking pink. It took so much bleach and so many magic erasers. Biggest mistake ever. RIT dye doesn't tell you that. RIT dye, you need to put it on your package. Steam is a color and it will dye your kitchen. I'm just saying. I mean, I did get the most perfect Velma skirt color and sweater color, but my kitchen paid the price. And then I paid the price afterwards because I had to scrub it down. So yeah, sorry. That was a sidebar on the RIT dye. You know what Fridays are like. It's real life. My mind goes in a million different places and that's what comes out in the Real Life Friday video. Point of the story. Don't let yourself be intimidated by tackling a project, even if you've never done anything before. I mean, I'm probably older than a lot of you, you know, being 49 and all, and I think of brilliant ideas all the time. So you are right in thinking that I'm amazing, but it took me 49 years to get this amazing. It was a lot of trial and error. It was just being confident in that I could probably do that. I mean, I've never done it before, but I don't see why I couldn't do that. It's about not getting intimidated like that fountain. If you want a fountain and they're too expensive, break it down. What are the parts and pieces of a fountain? A bowl, a container, rocks, maybe no rocks, and the thing that makes the water spill out. Once you have the pump in hand, it's like, how do I do it? How do I make it work? What do I do? Google, YouTube, somebody's making something. Even if you think you're making it up in your head, like no one's ever made a handmade fountain before, I bet you they have, and I bet you it's on the YouTube, or at least it's on like WikiHow or some bullshit like that. Just remember that you're smart. You're smarter than you think. You're capable of way more than you think you are. You can do anything. I'm living proof at 49. We may not be able to like make our wrinkles vanish. Think skincare products. Aside from that, we can take a palette and turn it into whatever we want. Yeah, maybe you do have an extra $100 lying around, but do you need to spend it? Could you do something yourself and figure it out? Save yourself $100? You probably could. Yeah, that's Friday's lecture. Me sitting in the shade, waiting for chair covers to dye. I'm gonna relax. I'm gonna let them soak overnight. I'm probably gonna jump in the shower because I was super sweaty from stirring the cauldrons all day. That's pretty much it. I'm 49. It's like, you know, when people get older, like your grandma and grandpa, they super don't give a shit anymore. And they're like, fuck it, I'm 65, I'm 75, I'm 85. I'm gonna say what I want and you're just gonna have to deal with it. That's the way I feel right now at 49. There you have it and there it is. So hopefully you liked what I had to say today on this Real Life Friday video. And yay, happy 49th birthday to me. So if you like this video, please be sure to give it a big thumbs up. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel. Be sure to ring that notification bell so that you are alerted to all of the Real Life Friday videos I push out, which is every other Friday at 5:30 Pacific Standard Time. Make sure you share this video with your family and friends. And as always, thanks for hanging out.